I begin by using a cake pan that resembles a saucer, and I'm using this cake cutter just to take off the top, and this is really great because it prevents any crust. Now what I'm going to do is take a spatula and I'm just going to separate the tops and put it aside. I'm using this ice cream that I prepared ahead of time, and I like using this kind of pan because it's really easy to handle. Now I'm just kind of taking away the plastic, and I'm also going to start taking off the top so it's perfectly aligned. Now I'm using this board by Wilton, and I'm putting icing, just any regular icing, just to stick on the bottom of the cake. Now I'm just going to put that ice cream on top, remove the plastic, and I'm just going to put it centered. As you can tell, it's a little bit bigger than the rest of the cake, so we're going to have to cut it on the sides with a knife. That's what I'm doing right now, and I'm just going to go through it, kind of make it look more like a soccer ball, kind of slanted so it's not perfectly straight. Now I'm using this, and this is just whipped cream, simple whipped cream with a little bit of vanilla, no sugar added, and I'm just going to give it a really thin coat. This doesn't have to be perfect because I'm going to be piping more whipped cream on top, so just have fun with this and just make it as even as you can. I forgot to mention, with ice cream you do have to work fast because it will start melting. So try to do this as fast as you can, and just put it back in the freezer for about an hour or two. Now this is done. It just came out of the freezer. And I'm going to start piping the black with a Wilton black decorating icing. And I'm just going to follow the shape of a picture that I have next to the actual cake. Remember, this doesn't have to be perfect because you can always cover mistakes. You can always take this off. That's what I like about this icing. It kind of hardens and you can just take it right off if you mess up. With this icing, I'm using a Wilton tip number 5. Now the black dots, as I followed the picture that I had, I just labeled the pieces that are going to be black just so I know and I don't mess up ahead of time. I'm using a pastry bag, and I'm using icing as well. I put it in the freezer or in the fridge a little bit so it wouldn't melt with the touch of my hand. And with that, I'm using the tip 2010 from Wilton, which has like a trio, and it's just easier and it covers a wider area at a time. Now here I colored some of the whipped cream black, and now with this I'm using the tip number 16 with another pastry bag, and I'm just gonna fill, actually my boyfriend's filling the black parts. Now I'm using a creamy classic vanilla frosting, and I just did a light green color for the grass, and I'm just using another piping bag. For this one, I'm using a grass tip